Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me. So I'm back to show you some more of my pieces that I've made for Roxy's weekly challenge. As I mentioned in my first video the other day, this is my attempt at catching up with the challenge so that from next week we can do the challenge together in real time on video as normal. So this is weeks 6 to 10. So let's begin. Let me just start with week 6, excuse me. Okay, so week 6 was document holders. So these are the 4 that I made, and I had a lot of fun making these. So here's what it is. If I show you this one as an example. So basically you start with an A4 or a letter sized paper, and you fold it up as a trifold, and inside is a whole bunch of papers and different things that you could use in a journal. So you might tear these off to use as collaging fodder. You might use pieces like this for journaling on, more collage fodder, and just pieces of ephemera, music sheet, and just things that you can use. And then of course you can use the whole digital in a journal as well if you wanted to. So that is the idea, and they're just tied together with twine. So these were the ones that I made for week 6. So I used this digital from My Porch Prints. It's Among the Wildflowers digital, and I can't wait to use it properly. This was my first time using it, so that's what I used there. And then inside I've just got, book pages, ledger, map, one of these new address home things, a journaling spot, a bit of music page, and then of course the inside is lined with, I've double printed it. So sorry about the sun, by the way. It is coming in. It is the afternoon that I'm filming this, so the sun is streaming in. And then on the front, I didn't think it needed much because of this pretty design, so I just added a label just at the top here. So that's that one. And then I made this one. They've all got the same things inside, really. I made this one with a printable from the journal boat. Again, so sorry about the light. I'm trying to work around it as best I can. And again, it's got similar things. We've got old book page, writing spots, bits of paper, illustrations, ledger, music sheet. I kind of I did them together, so obviously most of them are the same. I made a purple one using this pretty digital, again from the journal boat, and I really like how that looks with the butterfly on the front. So these were really easy to do, and then I made a neutral one using this sheet. This is from the journal boat. Again, so sorry. It's just scripty writing, but I've not decorated this one because this one can go in literally any journal. I could have a fussy cut on here of a flower, a leaf, a animal, a bird, a butterfly, whatever. It could be anything I want it to be. So I wanted just, a basic one to have in my stash, and then this has, illustrations and just fun things that someone can use in the journal. And I think the idea is that these are pocket fillers, so they can just slip into pockets, or you can just tuck them into, the middle of a journal, in between a couple of signatures, or just tucked in the back. And, these are collage papers and writing spots that someone can use. And they were a lot of fun to do. I think in Rachel's video, she also had a lot of fun making these. So expect that kind of thing to pop up more than once. That's just a clue. Okay, next we've got week 7, and that was a clue straight away because this is actually a variation of what I've just shown you. So she did these the next week. So this is what I've used for mine. So essentially it's the same thing, this time a narrower version, like so, folded up almost like a square. And instead of the 2 holes, so instead of the 2 holes here tied with a bow, we have just 1 hole and I've done a bow, but I think she just did it as like a bit of string coming out the top. So these were essentially a variation of the same thing. Now these first ones in week 6, these I got a bit carried away, so they were quite bulky, but they are flattening down with time. These ones I made a lot thinner, I put less inside them. And these two, I actually used the front of a vintage envelope. It was a very long one. Can you believe this was actually cut down in order to do this project? I obviously wanted to keep the stamp detail in, and I wanted to see all of the, you know, the fun text. And I thought this would be perfect for it, because when they fold up, you can see the stamps and you can see a bit of that text. And because these are just going to slip into pockets, you've got it on the back as well. And it was a great use of those, you know, they were really long. They must have been about 14 inches long. I actually can't make out the date. I was just trying to see what date they were, but I think that might be 60s stamps or possibly 50s, something like that. So I made 2 of those. And again, they're similar papers from before. You know, we've got collage papers from a map, a bit of ledger, more ledger, a writing spot. These are all vintage papers I've got, and just something that I thought would be interesting to either write on the back of or use for journaling. And then of course you can write on the back of the envelope if you wanted to. So that's that one, and I think this one is pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, it is. So that's those 2 with the envelope, which again, it got me using something that I didn't know what to do with, so that's great. And then these 2 are from the same, which way does it go? That way? Oh, I think these were the same digital, but I might have turned them inside out. So this is these 2. This is the Journal Boat digital from her pink memento kit, I believe. So what we've got here is just a little bit of a text quote on there and a butterfly sticker. And then these 2 needed help securing down, so I just used a paper clip and tucked a vintage ticket in the clip. And then exactly as before, we've got, you know, book pages, fun things like that to use. And then you can use the digital itself. And I really like how those look. And then, as I say, I've just got that little ticket tucked up there. Really simple to make and really fun to put together. And then this one is exactly the same. I just have a, this one already had a lot of text on, so I just added the butterfly sticker. So that was week 7. Now I actually skipped week 8 because I didn't really have the right things for it. I have skipped a couple of weeks in the challenge, and they're things that if I want to, I can come back later, but I wasn't going to beat myself up because obviously I had a lot of weeks to catch up on, so I just felt like if I didn't really have the right things, I was just going to move on, carry on, and I can always come back to them later. So I did skip week 8. So this is week 9, and I loved this one. These are called window flips, and they use junk mail envelopes. So again, I need a test journal page. So this is mine. Now my envelope actually had lost its plastic, so I lined the paper, the inside of the window with vellum instead, and then basically you collage all around the outside. So I tried to stick with neutral-ish for mine. You know, I've got book page in there, just some bits of ledger, music sheet, neutral kind of tones. And this has a hinge on it. Now in my case, I think in the video, Rachel did it where part of the envelope folded over to give her her flap, because this is a flip out, which I'll show you in a second. Mine didn't work out like that. I don't know why. So I ended up adding a hinge in some Tim Holtz paper to this side. So essentially what we've got is that then gets glued on. Now you can glue it around the page, or you could glue it onto the page like this, which is probably what I'm going to do, so that it flips out, and then this can be a tuck if you want it to. And then it flips out for the back of the envelope with yet more collaging, and this time I've put a pocket on the back. And what my idea is, and I'm sure Rachel did this in the video, is when you add in your tag to the pocket, whichever one you decide to use, you want something that is going to then frame your window. Isn't that fun? Obviously I'm not going to use that tack necessarily, but that was just to show you. But yeah, so you get to see all of this pretty collaging. So this is mine. I've got this bird on, a little butterfly, some numbers, labels and some stamps, and I put this text on, Thunder Roared. And then, as I say, on the back I've got a gusseted pocket, and then just decorated up, oops, sorry, with, you know, little bits and bobs. Really, really fun. I only made one. I do have 2 more bases, so we're going to do this in the scraps challenge as well, so you'll see a bit better how it's made and how you go about it. But I wanted to show you this one. This took me a little while, which is why I only did one. So yeah, but the great thing is that you've got the bases ready to go, so you can use them in other projects. And then the final one that I'm showing you for this video is week 10, and this one was called Extra Journal Spot Bundles, and this is how mine turned out. There we go. So what it is it's a bundle of papers that can all be used for writing on, and then much like the ephemera you know, fold up things that we did earlier, these can slip into pockets or inside a journal for someone to use. So these are mine, and I have to show you how I went about it. So I want to find one where I don't mind taking it apart, because I was really happy with how they turned out. So I will pick one. We'll go with this one. Okay. So basically we're tied with twine on the front. So if I just whip that off, and I've just popped some tickets inside the twine. What I used to fold mine up like together was a doily that I folded. Basically, I folded the doily around my ledger page, like so, and then I just folded up the excess, the bottom, onto the back and then secured with some washi. It was really simple to do, but it's added such a fun decorative element to the whole thing. But also that is a pocket, which had this little journal card in. So you've got that. So that's how mine are folded up, and then it also creates a back pocket, which is where this extra journal spot came from. And what it is you basically get a big sheet, even an A4 sheet, and you fold it in half lengthways and then fold it up about a third, and what that creates is a pocket there and a pocket there, and then obviously you saw me create an extra pocket with the doily. And then these are all things that can be written on. So I've just grabbed, I went with the ledger paper because you can write on it front and back, and then I've just got pieces that are plain on the back for writing, and then, as I say, we've got the journal card in the front. And I think they look so pretty, especially with, you know, pretty things like this. And you'll have to check out Rachel's video because hers looked amazing as well. She didn't use doily. I think she tied them with her offcuts of paper, like wrapped around and washied on the back. But yeah, I wanted to show you the doily option because, well, really, I was trying to use up the doilies. I was just going to put them in there into the actual pockets. And then I thought, what if I just pop that around, and then, you know, before you know it, I was creating extra pockets with the doily. But I think that's just given them a really decorative look. So, you know, this one we've got nice journal card there, and just fun things that can be all written on. And that was week 10. So that was the last make to show you this week. I'm just going to get my thumbnail ready. So next video, again, I'll pop it in for a couple of days' time, will be, what will be? Weeks 11 to 19 is going to be the next one. The reason I'm doing it in a bigger batch for the next video is because I've actually skipped a couple of the weeks just where I didn't have the right things, and yeah, I just decided to skip them. So I'll explain that more in the next video. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying seeing them. I'm enjoying showing them to you, so I'm glad I decided to do these little catch-up videos. And I will create a playlist for the challenge, for my videos for the challenge. So these will go in there, and then obviously when we start doing the actual challenge together in real time, there will be a playlist for my entries for the challenge. And as I said, Rachel's playlist for the challenge is linked below. So if you've not come across the challenge or you've not come across her videos and you've liked things that you've seen today, you might want to go and have a look at that playlist and have a look at her videos and give it a go, because it's a lot of fun. All right then, thanks everyone. We'll speak soon. I hope you like what I've come up with for weeks 6 to 10, I said, didn't I? Thanks so much then, everyone. Speak soon. Bye-bye for now.